Hi there, I'm Mike Brach. This is your next video on parting the wild horse's mane. We know from earlier videos that this Tai Chi technique is a signature technique in Yang style Tai Chi, and we know that footwork can get a little tricky, but the more we practice footwork, the better we get at it, and the better your balance and coordination. So for now, if we're just doing the footwork, let's put your hands on your hips and let's get in our base stance, Wu Chi, which means emptiness. We've got a slight bend in the knees, bottom out behind you, back up straight. And what we're going to do here is, if we're starting out here stepping out with the left foot, what we're going to do is shift over to the right, step out on the heel. You see how the toes are up here? Pay special attention to that. We're stepping out on the heel a little bit wider than shoulder width so we can roll forward into a nice stance here. And what I want you to think about is posture. This is a very big deal in Tai Chi and in life. Posture matters. So, start out again. We're standing, we're in our base stance. We'll shift over, we'll step out on the heel a little bit wider than shoulders width, roll forward, and just check your posture. Make sure your toes are pointed straight ahead. Make sure your hips are pointed straight ahead. Make sure your shoulders are nice and square. To get out of this, what are we going to do? We're going to sit back, pick up the toes, and step back. Pro tip here, if you feel a little wobbly coming out of that, if you're a little unsteady, just take a shorter step forward. It's not about how far you step forward. What's more important is the width of your step. So I want to make sure you step out and away. So let's do a few of them. And we'll add our deep belly breathing we've been working on. Shift over and breathe in. Step out on the heel. Breathe out the whole time you roll forward. Check your posture here. Is your back upright? Where's your weight? Hopefully it's sinking straight down into the floor, meaning you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning to one side. You got a good bend in your front leg, your back leg is straight. Let's sit back, pick up the toes, step back. Here's another angle for you. So we'll shift over to the right, step out on the heel of the left foot. See how the toes are up? Roll forward. We got a good bend in the front knee. The back leg is pretty straight. You don't have to really pop it back so it hurts your knee, but I want you to keep it pretty straight. To get out of this, we'll sit back, pick up the toes, step back. And remember, in Tai Chi, slower is better. So try doing that 10 times on each side really slowly. Let's do a few right now. Breathe in, step out, roll forward, and breathe out. Sit back, pick up the toes, step back. Make sure your feet are even after you step back, because control matters. Breathe in, step out on the heel, roll forward, and breathe out. Keep those backs up straight. Sit back, step back. Let's do it again. In, out. Sit back like you're sitting on the edge of a chair, toes up, step back. Try and smooth it out and go really slowly. In, step out, make that breath out last the whole time. Stretch it out. Stretch out that breath. Sit back, step back. Good. You can do more. Like I said, 10 times on each side. That's a great place to start. Another thing to pay attention to here are your knee mechanics. If If we shift over and step out, now that you're getting a feeling for the technique, let's refine it. We'll roll forward and see how, if I look down, I can still see the toes on my front foot. Meaning, I don't want your knees so far forward over your toes that you have problems. I also want to make sure when you roll forward, your knees don't cave in. That could be a problem too. Tai Chi is taught for health purposes, so we want to make sure what we're doing is beneficial and not causing harm. That would be counterproductive. So practice until you feel really good about it. Let's try the other side. Shift over, this time to the left. Step out on the heel of the right foot. Roll forward. Sit back. Step back. Breathe in. Step out. Roll forward and breathe out. Sit back. Step back. Breathe in. Step out, slow it down, roll forward and breathe out. Feel how your weight, when you're shifting, your weight kind of comes from the floor, through the back leg, and into both legs. If that's too much to think about, don't worry about it. Couple more here. Breathe in, step out. Roll forward and breathe out. Keep your back up tall. Sit back. Step back. In. Step out on the heel. Roll forward and breathe out. Good. So this is footwork that you can use for stationary version of parting the wild horse's mane. That's one. Another one you can use it for is brush the knee and palm strike. That's two. And we can use it in others, but that's a good place to start. To recap, knees matter. Make sure they don't cave inward. Make sure you don't come too far forward. So make sure your knee mechanics are really strong. Posture matters. Hips point forward, toes point forward, back stays up straight. So make sure you're not leaning forward or backward or to the side. None of that stuff. Go slow. Practice, practice, practice. You can do it. In the next video, we'll put the footwork together with the hands, and we'll have a lot of fun. Thanks.